This is the Tuesday, October 25th meeting of the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners. My name is Deb Shore, serving as chair this year. To my left is our vice chair, Christy Yocum. On the far end, Rick Vest. And on this end of the dais, we have Commissioners Roma Amundsen and Sean Flowerday. If you'd please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, if you'd begin the agenda, please.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available for electronic viewing from the county clerk's staff. Printing options are available upon request. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on October 18th, 2022.
Move approval.
Second. All right, any comments or corrections? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Vest.
Yes.
Amundsen.
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 2, claims. Approval of all claims processed through October 25th, 2022. This needs to be amended to include the payroll ending October 19th, 2022.
Move approval of the claims processed through October 25th and to include the payroll period through October 19th.
Second. Okay. Motion second to approve the claims. Call the roll.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Amundsen.
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next are claims including billing for goods and services beyond the 90-day time period provided in Nebraska Revised Statute 23-135. This is for Redwood Toxology, dated October 14, 2022, for a total of $469.85.
Move approval.
Second.
Did this get talked about before? I don't remember this.
Procedurally, I review them with the director and I move them to the, assuming that we have the goods and services and the director certifies to me that they wish to
Okay.
Process.
We have a motion.
Motion and a second. Okay, any other discussion? Call the roll.
Yocum.
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Amundsen.
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is approval of a claim to Rabble Mill in the amount of $28,501.64.
Motion to approve.
I move to approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve the claim for Rabble Mill. Call the roll.
Amundsen.
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Flowerday.
Abstain as my wife is on the board.
Vest.
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 4 yes, 1 abstention. Next is an approval of a claim to El Centro de las Americas in the amount of $9,017.12.
Move approval.
Second.
All right, motion is second to approve. Call the roll.
Vest.
Yes.
Amundsen.
Yes.
Yocum.
Abstain as I serve on the board.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 4 yes, 1 abstention. E is approval of claims to Clyde Malone Community Center, total amount of $12,973.91.
Move approval.
Second.
All right, call the roll.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Amundsen.
Yes.
Yocum.
Abstain as my husband serves on the board.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 4 yes, 1 abstention. F is approval of claim to the Mediation Center in amount of $6,792.50.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion is second to approve. Call the roll.
Yocum.
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Vest.
Abstain.
Amundsen.
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 4 yes, 1 abstention. Number 3 are consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion and consideration by a commissioner or by any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there's an exception, these items will be approved as one with a single vote of the Board of Commissioners. These items are approval of amendment to the following county contract, C-19-317, with VigilNet America LLC for electronic offender monitoring services. Right-of-way contracts with the following: Catherine E. Long Revocable Living Trust, Northwest 112th Street and West Agnew Road, in the amount of $631. VRM LLC, Northwest 105th Street and West Superior Street, in the amount of $1,487. Amendment to grant contract C-21-640 with Lincoln Public Schools for the Truancy Diversion Program. Received and placed on file the mileage reimbursement report for June through September 2022. Setting a public hearing on Tuesday, November 1st, 2022 at 9 a.m. in Room 112 of the County City Building regarding Health Department amendment to various sections and appendices of the Lincoln Lancaster County Air Pollution Control Program regulations and standards.
Move approval of the consent items?
Second.
Motion and second to approve the consent items. Call the roll, please.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 4 is unfinished business. This is a resolution in matter of request to vacate a 50-foot right-of-way located in Raymond, Nebraska, more particularly described in Exhibit A and located in Lancaster County, Nebraska.
All right. Is there any further discussion on this item? Not. Is there a motion regarding the resolution?
As I understand it, we have reached an agreement that said the right-of-way will be split into 2 parcels that we are vacating. One will go to the homeowner that is directly adjacent to the southern half of the vacation. The northern half of the vacation will go to the landowner who is on the, I guess that would make it the west side, toward the railroad tracks. Is that what we have before us today? Is that correct?
That is a correct statement, Commissioner Vest.
Okay. I would move approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the resolution, and we thank the parties for their ongoing negotiation to find a compromise so this resident can install a new septic system. A very simple process that becomes somewhat complicated. So, call the roll, please.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 5, new business. 5A is a resolution regarding comprehensive plan performance number 22015, adopting the 1 and 6 year road and bridge construction program for Lancaster County for fiscal years 2022 and 2023 through 2028. And I do want to let the board know that the clerk's office has received 3 emails regarding this matter from David and Jolene Allen, Alex Dirks, and Joe and Tamara Mick.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. This is the standard approval of the annual 1 and 6. We do usually wait a couple weeks until after the 1 and 6 in case we get any what I'll call old school mail or emails. We do on occasion have people that come to the 1 and 6 that say, I just don't want to step up to the microphone. It's not my thing. And I do appreciate the 3 people who contacted me after the 1 and 6 with the communication, which is why I've included it in with this packet. The packet also has a summary from the planning department, finding our 1 and 6 in conformance with the comprehensive plan, as well as my PowerPoint presentation of the 1 and 6.
I move approval.
Second.
All right. Call the roll, please.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. B is a resolution in matter of signing the county annual certification of program compliance to the Nebraska Board of Public Classifications and Standards.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. This is the annual document where we are certifying that we have complied with all the standards. We incorporate the 1 and 6 in this when we forward the document to Nebraska Department of Transportation. Without this document, we could not be awarded our highway allocation dollars, which of course are very important to us.
Move approval.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. C is a resolution setting a public hearing regarding the vacation of the east-west alley between Lincoln Street and Shower Street, Block 8, Cheney, more particularly described in Exhibit A and located in Lancaster County, Nebraska.
Good morning, John Berry, Lancaster County Engineering. This is to set the hearing date to vacate this alley in Cheney. Because it is within the 3-mile jurisdiction of the city of Lincoln, they also needed to approve this vacation, which they have previously done.
Second.
All right, I'm seeing no additional questions. Motion is second. Call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. D is a resolution accepting maintenance responsibilities for certain roads and streets located within West Van Dorn Estates and West Van Dorn Estates First and Second Editions.
Good morning, John Berry, Lancaster County Engineering. This is a request for Lancaster County to take over maintenance for West Van Dorn West Van Dorn Estates, also First and Second Edition. This subdivision is located approximately on West Van Dorn and Southwest 98th Streets. It consists of about 5,500 feet of gravel and rock streets. They have come forward. They've met all our requirements for us to take over maintenance.
And Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. Commissioners, you all know what I'm going to say now. This adds yet more maintenance responsibilities to my department without a funding source to fund this. And so we're bringing this forward because it is the rules. However, this system cannot continue in the way it is. We now maintain close to 3,000 lots, 3,000 residential lots, without a funding source for the maintenance of these programs, and it's just not sustainable for our department.
I'm in complete agreement with the engineer on this one. This is a mile of additional road that we are maintaining now, more than.
Well, hearing no other options, I'll move approval.
Second.
All right, motion is second. Call the roll, please.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson. Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes, reluctantly.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5E is an agreement with the Board of Regents for the University of Nebraska Lincoln for UNL to perform bridge testing at County Bridge D041 located in Northwest 70th Street over North Oak Creek. There is no cost to the county.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. Bridge D41 is a bridge that has been closed for quite some time over one of the branches of Oak Creek. I'll just remind the clerk that, we get mocked as engineers when we use the word crick. That being said, we have been partnering with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's engineering department for quite some time now with what is actually destructive testing of our bridges that are permanently closed. There is a lot of information that is being gathered for this. My long-term hope is that this will enable us to find a way to keep these bridges open for a longer period of time. And so people with many engineering degrees will be gathering out later in the week at this location to actually do destructive testing to this bridge with a complex finite element analysis of this bridge so that we can figure out a way to make our bridges last longer.
So when you say destructive testing, will they be destroying the bridge?
Theoretically, Commissioner Shore, so what they have done in the past with these bridges is they take a section out. You may recall that bridge R210, R248, and I believe there was a third bridge that we go ahead and they take a section of beam out and then they put strain gauges all across the bridge. The only way I can explain the strain gauges to you is it's similar to the devices that pregnant women wear when they're in labor to test strain, and then they will incrementally test the strain in each member of the bridge as a member has been isolated from supporting that bridge.
Okay.
I do have one question, Pam. Some of these bridges, are these bridges that are scheduled to be closed?
These are bridges that are permanently closed. This particular bridge is scour critical. It's functionally obsolete. It was also load posted before we closed it. This bridge has taken a beating. It is one of our bridges that was a used bridge that we bought at auction somewhere. I don't have any information on it. We had this collection of truss bridges that we used to move around the county as needed. It's old school engineering. It's really 1880s to 1920s technology. It's not repairable in its current condition. And with the flooding over the years, I personally have witnessed water over this bridge several times. I've witnessed cottonwood trees hanging off the truss in floods. It's a mess.
Roma?
Yeah, so when you say permanently closed, there is no intent whatsoever to repair this bridge.
There is no intent to repair this bridge. And that's one of the reasons why we entered into this program with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, because if we don't have any intent of opening the bridge again because of its condition, then there's no reason why that we can't learn something from this bridge.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
And we have learned a lot of really interesting information from these testing methods.
Do we have a motion, Mr. Clerk?
Not yet.
I move approval.
Second.
All right, call the roll, please.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. F is a recommendation from the purchasing agent and county engineer to award and execute the purchase orders for supplying and hauling rock coarse surface material to the following: Westover Rock and Sand, Inc., in the amount of $406,895, and R.L. Tiemann Construction in the amount of $720,120.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. This is a portion of our rock bid for our current budget year. We do 2 bids a year. Mixing, one of the bids is gravel, one of the bids is rock, and then when we are bidding the rock, like this bid, we also throw in riprap, which we call it riprap. The non-engineering lingo would be, hey, bigger rock. So we're all about our big rock in Lancaster County. That is how we slow down the flow at the exits of all of our pipes.
Move approval.
Oh. Then I'll second.
Okay. Motion and second, call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. G is a recommendation from the purchasing agent and county engineer to award and execute a purchase order to Gannett Trucking and Excavating for supplying and hauling Type B rock riprap material in the amount of $25,410.
Move approval.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. H is in a matter of declaring a disaster or emergency pursuant to Nebraska revised statute 81-829-50 in response to rapidly spreading fires in Lancaster County.
Second.
Do we want to have any explanation about this for the public, about the process?
I don't know, it always falls to me to sign these.
You're our declaration expert.
Lancaster County was on fire. The real goal here was, this was an emergency declaration to request state aid. At the time, we were hoping to get an air tanker into the air to be able to actually do a water drop on part of the fire. In the end, a plane could not be found, and the wind conditions didn't warrant the operation. It wouldn't have been safe to be able to do it, so we weren't able to do it. To my knowledge, we have not actually invoked any of the assistance of this, but it is important to ratify it. We're still doing surveys on the bridges and infrastructure on the county engineer's end, and so it's possible that if the total damage exceeds, I think it's 1.3 million, is that correct?
1.3.
And some odd,
Yeah, okay.
some disturbing amount of change.
1.3 and change.
Yes.
That then we could potentially receive either NEMA or FEMA reimbursement. And so, yeah, I was the one who issued it.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. So we are still in the process of evaluating the damage in the right-of-way for Lancaster County Engineering Department. You know, Sunday was a really hard day. Our staff are not trained to respond to fires. We did get the call very early on for aid, which is one of the reasons why I contacted Jim David Saver early and said, if we're gonna respond with aid, then we need to open the EOC so we can communicate through the EOC, because that's the intent. With that being said, you know, we had a number of people who came in and worked really hard on Sunday in conditions that were bad. Yesterday was also difficult, mainly because we still had places on fire, and then the rain. And so now we have wet burn stuff,
Right.
which is, my friends in California always tell me that when you have a fire, you always have a rain, and that the rain brings equal concerns. We're fortunate in Lancaster County, we don't have anything steep enough to make landslides, so that is a good thing. That being said, now we have wet burn debris. We are also continuing to evaluate the right-of-way. There were a lot of private citizens that got involved with fire breaks. We do appear to have some damage from some of those activities that went on with volunteers, and so we're trying to figure out what we need to do, especially before winter. I have concerns about erosion, because now we have ground that is just barren, and I don't know if we're going to get a chance to actually grow anything before it gets too cold. You know, it was 34 degrees again this morning. We have set up a system in Oracle so that we can track all of our time. I don't know whether we will reach that threshold in Lancaster County. Norris Public Power also has damage because they have a lot of burned poles. They could easily, we could, as a combined total, reach that threshold. What we're doing is right now we are treating this like it is a declared event so that we can track all the data, because you can't really go back in time.
Yeah.
Well, you can. It's just really, really painful. Oracle was set up to handle a FEMA event way back in the day, so that we can populate it with data. We have set up our own internal systems so they can be populated with data. And if we don't reach the threshold, this is a really good exercise for our staff in how to do this, because we haven't done it since 2019, and sometimes our memories can be short when there's things that we don't do every day.
Right. The one last thing I just want to add to this is, you know, there's so many people, and I can't list them all, but there's so many people that deserve thanks for the way this community just showed up all of a sudden to combat this situation. We had, you know, between 120 and 150 volunteer firefighters out there. We had sheriff's deputies. The engineer's office was clearing down trees off the road. They were running tanker trucks of water to support firefighting efforts, and sort of improvising that whole system as they were going. We had, you know, the Red Cross and the health department setting up an emergency shelter for evacuees. We had Salvation Army volunteers driving through the dark and the smoke to deliver bottled water to fire crews as they were out there. And we had, Sheriff Wagner reported, over 100 firefighters who were out there creating fire breaks with their tractors, doing everything they could to prevent it. So this was a true community effort, and we are really blessed to live in a community like this that can respond that way.
And don't forget that the Lancaster Event Center also.
Yes, and the Lancaster Event Center.
Event Center also took care of,
Took-
I
I think it was
30
more-
horses.
It was 30, I think it was more than 70 animals when it was all
70
told. It
animals,
was, yeah, they opened their doors and their paddocks to livestock that could be, it was an enormous lift, and people pitched in. It was a true community spirit, so thank you to your office for your efforts, and thank you to everybody who was part of this.
I don't want to let it go thanking my staff who showed up
Absolutely.
on a Sunday and got the semi out and the tanker out, and found there's certain valves that we have to use, certain water meters that we have to use to fill this equipment, and had everything full and ready to go. So it was a really big deal.
Yeah. Well,
And,
this was an amazing response.
and
I'm
of
just
course,
still stunned by it.
Our prayers go out to the Crete firefighter who has a long road of healing ahead, and it just speaks to the volunteerism and the committed spirit that those firefighters had on Sunday and every time they respond to a call. Call the roll, please.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 6, public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business, non-agenda may do so at this time.
Is there anyone wishing to make public comment? Welcome. If you would, just sign in on the registry there and introduce yourself.
My name is Alex Dirks, and do you want us together? Do you want us separate?
It's up to you. We've got two, if you want to present at the same time. Alex and
And my name is Ben Akridge.
Ben Akridge.
So Ben and I are neighbors on North 162nd Street, and we are here to voice our concern for the maintenance, upkeep, and overall condition of that road, that gravel road that stretches between Highway 6 and Ashland Road. I've lived at my address. I'm right about in the middle, in between Davie and Rock Creek roads, and we purchased an acreage that was separated, so we're 30 yards apart from each other. But after seeing the 1 and 6 year road and bridge plan that came out last week, or week and a half ago, we were both very disappointed in the fact that our road was put on the standby road list again to be paved. This road is very unsafe, and it's actually terrible health conditions, to live on this road with the dust. Second to the safety, I think our number one concern right now is the safety of the road. Just being gravel and with the amount of traffic that it gets, this road is miserable to drive down. The maintenance that we have had on it has not gone unheard. Our concern for that, we've both called into the county multiple times, and every time that I've called in, there has been maintenance that has come out, very soon to take care of those concerns. But the road is almost impossible to keep well maintained with the amount of traffic that goes down it and the weight of the traffic that goes down it. Very heavy truck traffic that goes down it up and down the day. I couldn't tell you the exact daily count of cars that goes down it, but I feel like when the ropes go out to count it, it's always in a terrible time of year where there's not as much traffic as a real full day. And living on the road with a prevailing south and west winds, or us being on the east side of the road, we get a lot of that dust that just settles. You go down to having to replace your air filter 2 or 3 times more than the average person that would have to. You can't leave a vehicle outside without having to run your windshield wipers to clean your windshield to have to drive away the next day. It's just not good all around. I haven't had any personal experience with accidents on the road, but Ben can speak to that.
Yeah, and we've been neighbors to Alex for a little over a year now. We moved onto North 162nd Street in June of 2021. Following our move-in, about a month after we moved, right around the 4th of July, my 17-year-old son was on his way home from a football practice, and about a mile north of the railroad tracks, hit a very bad patch of washboards and rolled his truck. And thank God he was okay. There was no harm done to him, but his vehicle was, completely totaled from this accident. And we're thankful, while we're thankful that he was okay, there was that chance that he wouldn't have been. And as Alex said, the maintenance hasn't gone unheard. We've seen the graders out there grading the roads and everything, but with the amount of heavy traffic, we understand that there's a certain amount of vehicles that are looked at that go over the roads over the course of a day to determine whether or not They should be in consideration for paving. The problem is the heavy traffic. There are semis constantly throughout the day, up and down our road. Our road is a cut through for a lot of those semis that may have business in Fremont, between Fremont and Lincoln. So many of that traffic is used to avoid other heavy traffic roads and like Highway 77. My voice as a father, as a husband, and just as a neighbor, that again, these conditions that the roads have been in, that they continue to be in, it's just not safe. The dust, again, it's I mean, to where you can't even see your hand in front of your face, how bad some of the dust is and stuff when you're traveling up and down this road. So yeah, that's definitely a big concern of ours, and I'm thankful Alex has brought this up for attention as well.
I sent out an email last week
Right.
to everybody, and I guess we'll just go on record here. Accidentally sent that email with an Olson signature that has nothing to do with Olson, the business. That was a personal email sent by me, myself, and I. So Olson not involved in that one. But as far as funding goes, and taking the time every year, the amount of gravel and stuff that we put down, large white rock that goes down on this road, how much of that can we avoid every year by getting this paved? The large sum up front versus the continued maintenance of this. I don't know how wide it is. Five vehicles wide, 8 miles long. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner, I would just, we're public comment, we're not allowed to interact, but if you gentlemen have time to hang around for a little bit longer, we'll wrap up soon. I'd be glad to
Yes, sir.
talk with you about this
Absolutely.
issue once the meeting's wrapped up.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you.
Excellent presentation. Thank you for being here, and I am so pleased to know that your son was safe throughout that incident.
Thank you all.
All right. Anyone else wishing to make public comment? Seeing none, continue with the announcements, please, Mr. Clerk.
The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, October 27th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold its next regular meeting on Tuesday, November 1st, 2022 at 9 a.m. with the Board of Equalization immediately following in room 112 of the County City Building. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on Link TV. Link TV is available on Allo Channel 2 and Spectrum Channel 1300. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. Link TV apps are also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. Call the roll, please.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
We are adjourned. Thank you for your time and attention.